Well, folks, I'll be the first one to admit that Tennessee is a blood red state. And I realize as a Tennessean, people from all over this world are looking at the state of Tennessee and going, damn, that's a blood red state. They really got some fascism on the rise down there. Trust me, just when you think the fascism couldn't get worse here, oh, it can absolutely get worse. And that's what's happening now. What we're seeing more than ever is the fascists try their damnedest to silence any voice that opposes them. And we've saw laws passed in the last couple of days that does just that. One of the laws that was passed would ban any representative from being reappointed to their seat if they were ever expelled for disorderly conduct. Well, guess who that would affect? That would affect Justin Jones and Justin Pearson. Both were expelled last year when they stood up and tried to speak out against the gun violence. Their microphones got cut off. They got expelled. Along with Gloria Johnson, they became part of the Tennessee Three, and they rose to fame. And when that happened, people started looking down here and going, damn, we've got two charismatic black men that have a voice that are not afraid to stand up to the good old boys. And that absolutely scares the living shit out of the good old boys. So now they're trying to stop them from being reappointed to their seats. A bill also passed that would ban pride flags in school, that would ban Black Lives Matter flags in school. But guess which flags didn't get mentioned? Yeah, the Nazi flag didn't get mentioned. The Confederate flag didn't get mentioned. Just Black Lives Matter and pride flags. And in the words of Justin Jones, they are trying to tell us exactly who they are. Take a look at this clip, and then let's come back and talk more about this.
How is it that they're now pushing through a law that would ban marches for Black Lives Matter, but not Nazi marches?
I mean, they're showing us who they are. You know, just yesterday, as I tried to tell them that their policies attacking immigrants, attacking the LGBTQ community, banning Black history, are inviting these neo-Nazis to come, I was silenced by the Speaker of the House and stopped from speaking. And when we try and raise these concerns that we are welcoming hate, at the same time we are banning pride flags from our schools.
Yeah.
I mean, it is creating this morally insane environment where you're not even engaging. You know, there's the saying, speak truth to power. We're speaking truth to insanity. At least we're trying to, and we're not silent.
He's absolutely right when he says we are speaking truth to insanity. That's what's going on, folks. This is batshit insanity, and we have to call it out as such. There's no more, well, I stand here in the middle, I see both sides of this argument. There is no two sides to hatred. There is no two sides to bigotry. There is no two sides to racism, and there's never going to be. No matter how many Tennessee Republicans stands up and tries to beat that drum, we're going to stand up and we're going to shout it down even louder. How can they say to us that a pride flag and a Black Lives Matter flag is a political ideology, but the Nazi flag and the Confederate flag aren't? You're telling me that being gay or being black is a political ideology? No, it's not. And by the way, that Nazi flag is a flag that this country defeated before. That Confederate flag is a flag that this country defeated before, and we're going to do it again because we cannot allow these Tennessee Republicans, these fascists, to define what Tennessee truly is. We cannot, because this stuff is spreading throughout the entire country, and it's headed straight for us in November. Democracy is on the line, and I know a lot of people says, oh, Brando, buddy, you're just spreading hyperbole. No, like Justin Jones said, these people are trying to tell us exactly who they are, and there's no more room to sit on the fence and be quiet about it or say, well, I see both sides to that argument. There's no two sides to this one, folks. I'm sorry. Now, I'm going to address the elephant in the room because I realize that there's a whole lot of people that are new to my channel, and they're looking at me going, dude, you're not the kind of guy I would walk up and strike up a conversation with. I realize based on the way that I dress, I've got a bandana, I got rings on my fingers, tattoos, I'm 6'3", I wear boots. I've played, country music for most of my life in dive bars around this part of the world. So I can't count the times that someone has come up to me and said, man, or sent me a message and said, man, I scrolled past your videos for months because I was afraid if I clicked on them, you was just going to be spewing more right-wing propaganda. Now, I'll be the first to admit that when I first sat down in a chair like this to do this kind of content, I said to myself, well, do I need to change it up a little bit? Do I need to maybe make myself look a little bit more presentable to folks? And then I said, hell no, I'm going to be exactly who I am, and I'm going to let people understand that just because I'm a middle-aged white dude from East Tennessee does not mean I'm a bigot, and does not mean that I don't stand on the side of truth and I don't stand on the side of equality. And more people have got to stop speaking up regardless of the consequences. I understand, believe me, I understand some people are in a position where they could lose their job and that's all they have to provide for their family. And I understand how tough times are. But when you're sitting at Sunday dinner and Uncle Randy over here goes off on some big racist rant, you do not have to sit there and agree with it. Okay? I don't give a damn if certain cousins never speaks to me again in the dollar store. All right? I don't. I was a full-time musician for years. That's how I fed my family for years. I played every dive bar in this part of the world. When I started doing content like this, suddenly the gigs dried up. Suddenly no one wanted to talk to me again, and a lot of people said to me, "We don't do politics here, man." They said that while they had Confederate flags hanging in their bar. They said that while they had Back the Blue flags hanging on their stage. They said that while they had Don't Tread on Me. We don't talk politics here. Yes, you do. When you booked that little Toby Keith ripoff and had him as your headliner, you absolutely talk politics. You just didn't like it when you heard what I had to say. So yes, you could potentially stand to lose friends. You could potentially stand to lose a few things, but in the end of the day, you have to stand up for what's right, and you have to stand up for the truth, and you have to stand up for democracy and equality for everyone, because we cannot let these bastards win this. We can't. My grandfather was a lifelong Republican, okay? White guy born in 1913 in Southeast Kentucky. I don't know if he was here today, if he and I would see everything exactly alike, but I do know this. I do know that he went and fought and damn near died and came home scarred for the rest of his life fighting Nazis. And I'd be goddamned if I'm going to sit here and let them march up and down the street and go, "Oh, well, I see both sides to that." I won't do it. And if that offends somebody and they go, "Man, I'm never going to listen to that guy play music again. I'm never going to watch one of his videos again," then there's the door, pal. Hit it. I will draw that line in the sand. I do not care. Because at the end of the day, folks, we are on the right side of history, but we can't let them be the ones that gets control of the pen and writes our history. We have to speak up. We got Justin Jones, Justin Pearson, Gloria Johnson, the Tennessee Three. People all across this country started looking at them and going, "Holy shit, there's people in Tennessee that actually does have a voice of reason." And what I'm here to say is there's a whole lot more blue dots here in Tennessee than people might realize. And a lot of them stay quiet, and I totally understand why you do in certain cases. But for those of you who are able to really stand up and speak out, now's the time more than ever. Get behind the Gloria Johnsons of the world, get behind the Justin Jones and the Justin Pearsons of the world, and let's give them the microphone and let's shout down this fascism, because that's what they're doing to us, okay? They're coming for us. You know how Donald Trump likes to use that line, "They're not coming for me, they're coming for you." At the end of the day, they are coming for you too, because they want to control you, and they realize if they can get you to look over at something that you don't understand, and they can get you to hate something you don't understand, they've got control of you. When they get you scared of a black man with a strong voice, or they get you scared of someone for their lifestyle choices, and you live in fear, you'll sit there and be quiet, and you'll let the fascism win, and they've got you under control. That's something we all need to really stop and think about. I don't care to draw the line in the sand on this one, and I'm never going to back down on this one. And we're going to keep speaking truth to insanity here in Tennessee. And Justin Jones has always had one of my favorite lines. You know, Barack Obama, someone I admire a whole lot. He had the book called The Audacity of Hope. Well, Justin Jones says it's time for hope for audacity. More people has to have the audacity to stand up and shout this fascism down. And we can do it here in Tennessee, because we cannot let these bastards write our history and define who we are.